Welcome back into a brand new episode of Lynx Unleashed, the official podcast of the Minnesota Lynx. Wendell Epps here with Seimone Augustus, former Lynx player. Seimone, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Augustus free off the screen as he hits it at the buzzer.
Seimone Augustus, that's the quiet assassin.
She was unstoppable.
Augustus says, I don't need this screen, I'll take it myself.
Smooth operator.
Seimone, right side jumper on the way, it's a triple.
She rock you to sleep.
I don't know if there's a better player just going back and forth, rocking you side to side than Seimone.
I love you, Minnesota. Good night.
First thing first, Seimone, obviously such a storied career with the Lynx, and you're even up to great things now. We're going to get to all of that, but first I want to take you back to your draft night, right? Number one pick by the Minnesota Lynx. What do you remember most about that night, and what were some of your initial reactions when you found out you were going to be coming to Minnesota?
Nerves was the initial reaction, just sitting there with so much great talent in my draft class. Cappie Poindexter, Candace Dupree, I mean, you name it. And so you really didn't know. I mean, I know I had done a pretty good job on the collegiate level, but you just never know what teams need. And so when my name got called, you know, the first thing I thought, like, hug my parents, you know, do all that good stuff and then head to the front.
It's been really hectic just trying to get an outfit for the draft.
With the first pick of the 2006 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Seimone Augustus from LSU.
You know, it was when I got here, people were like, what do you know about Minnesota? And I'm like, nothing. Nothing. And that was, you know, for me, I think that was a good thing because I got an opportunity over the course of 14, 15 years to just learn about the Minnesota way, like Minnesota Nice and the winters and the different things that go on in the summertime and just the fans and just kind of enjoy the journey as opposed to having like a predetermined thought about what this place could be.
Yeah, you were obviously here for so long, so you got to see different waves of Lynx basketball and different waves of Minnesota as a whole, but what were some of your fondest memories of the Lynx fan base?
I mean, like I said in one of my speeches for the jersey retirement, the first person I ever met was a Lynx fan. She was a Delta agent. She met me at the gate. We had a great conversation. She gave me a beautiful gift. And from that day forward, it was just more of that. It was just like love, admiration. Like even during the early years where we weren't so successful, the fans were here. They were ride or die. They were loyal. It was like, it's going to happen for you, money. Like one day it's going to turn a corner. And when it did, you know, that felt even more gratifying to see like all of those fans that kind of rode out those rough times enjoyed the great times as well.
And you were with Cheryl Reeve for a lot of your playing career here with the Lynx, and you were able to be part of that first championship of what ended up being the dynasty in 2011. You were finals MVP that year as well.
And the wait is over. The Minnesota Lynx are the champs of the WNBA.
So this year's MVP is a unanimous choice with an average of 25 points per game, Seimone Augustus.
Walk me through what you remember most about that year and what do you feel like helped you be able to grow and obviously translate into all the success you guys had for that run?
I think that year started maybe the year before, like I was coming back from the ACL, and so it just kind of trickled into like, what do you want to be? What do you want your legacy to be? And you know, coming into 2011, I hadn't won anything. I think Waylon had went to the playoffs but never came home with anything. Bronson had one championship with Sacramento. Maya had lost, you know, on the college level. So it was just a hunger and a thirst. And we really didn't have a bullseye on our back. We were like the second worst team the year before. So we basically were like, we got our opportunity here to just kind of grow, develop, see what happens. And when you look around the room and you see as much talent as you have no choice but to get better and to see, you know, a brighter future is like right around the corner. But we didn't know it was, you know,
right,
there.
Exactly.
But you could feel it. You can feel the way that we practice, with the intensity that we practice, with the focus that we had, how we took care of our bodies, our minds every day. It was just a matter of time before we turned the corner.
Do you ever like go back and watch those games? I'm always curious, like players that are part of that, so much success. Like how often, or if ever, do you go back and like, man, like I really did this?
Yes, I do. I actually now going into coaching, all you do is watch videos. So I'm like, let me go see a couple of the girls from LSU. It's like I'm trying to teach them certain things, like coming off of pin downs, which was my expertise. Yeah. And they're like, well, you need to show us film of you coming off of pin downs. So I was like, you know what?
I got
absolutely
you.
Right. I got you. So then I go back and I watch these videos and I'm clipping them. And I'm like, We were awesome. I'm like, yo, y'all owe me some money or something. Like, the price of admission wasn't high enough. Like, we were actually, like, amazing to watch, and just to see how great talent kind of sacrificed for each other and played so well together was amazing.
Yeah, hottest ticket in town, and obviously you were able to see your jersey go into the rafters as a result of that. Walk me back to that jersey retirement night. You know, what emotions were you feeling, and what was going through your mind as you saw that jersey going up into the rafters like that?
You just never can explain or really put into words what that feels like. Like, you know, I played for the sheer joy and love of the game. I'd never like, oh, well, let me see. I want to be a Hall of Fame. I want to do this. It's just like, no, I just wanted to be the best at that moment, that position, that whatever. And it equated to having my jersey hung. And I'm just like, man, when I have kids, I'll get a chance to bring them back. Because, you know, I do that to my pops right now. I'm like, you ain't play no football. You ain't do nothing. But I can actually, like, I lived this. I did this. And my kids, grandkids, and family members will be able to come to Minnesota. I actually had a few came last year to watch the Vikings play. And they were like, I see your jersey. I'm like, you just don't know what that means to so many people. And that's the energy that we enjoy. That's the energy that made us who we were. Y'all made this a tough place to play. Y'all made our jobs easy. All we had to do is perform. And I thank you for that.
Yeah, it's very special. And I mean, it's so awesome to see the common trend. I mean, from having talked to you and Maya and obviously Rebecca being on our coaching staff now, just like, obviously you guys were such talented basketball players, but it just seemed like the personalities, like you guys just really meshed well, right? Chemistry wise. Can you share maybe a fun story you had that you're like, man, this really describes who we were off the court?
I don't know if I can give too much. Me and Bronson was just laughing about that this morning. I got a chance to sit in and shoot around. And it was just like, some of the girls were like, oh, y'all excited to see each other? I'm like, we've seen each other for 15 years. But, I mean, it wasn't a day that went by that we didn't have some type of thrill, story, party. I mean, we found ways to be with each other. It got to a point that my house wasn't even my house anymore. They would just be like, we're going to buy my own house and we're going to watch Power tonight on her projector screen in her apartment. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you can have my house. You know, that's how close we were. And that's why you saw the success that we had, because it really was a sisterhood. It really was a family. You see me, you see the rest of them right behind me. And don't play with us, you know? Don't play with us.
Man, we're like sisters. We do everything together. We have fun together. We fight together. It's just one big happy family. And I'm just so thankful that I had an opportunity to play with you wonderful women, man.
I mean, it's so awesome to see, right, this year's Lynx team having the success they're having right now, currently first in the Western Conference. What have been some of the things that have stood out about this year's Lynx roster and just your thoughts on the team overall?
I mean, I just told him this morning, I'm like, I see so much similarities between this team and our team as far as how connected they are on the court, how hard they play. With the new addition of Hines Allen, I'm like, oh, that might be the piece.
That might be the missing piece right there,
That may be the missing piece. But just the way that they move the ball so well, they play, you know, at a high pace. They do things the right way. At least they try to. You can't get it right all the time, but you see the effort. You see everything there. And with a coach like, you know, Cheryl, who's very detailed, who's very specific about things, you have nothing but a chance to have such a high success rate if you follow the game plan.
And speaking of Cheryl, do you have a favorite memory with Cheryl Reeve?
I mean, it's so many, so many memories.
So proud of you. So proud of you. Oh, God. You deserve this.
I mean, our huddles were amazing. If they had mics in their huddle, I think you would have a blooper reel for everything. Yep. Obviously, I would always rave about her pregame speeches. You know, you got to get your team fired up. And she was always informative, educational, but also, like, inspiring.
Be who we are and win this game.
Hey, have fun, relax. It's just basketball.
When she gave those speeches, and we would always say on national TV games like Los Lynx Worldwide.
Yeah.
And it really made sense to us because, like, for the first time, somebody could be seeing us internationally, nationally on television, and we wanted to put on a great show.
I mean, how does that feel to have been a part of that wave that's now, you know, inspiring this new generation of Lynx players, right? We're led by Nafisa Collier, who's currently in the midst of her prime right now, but, you know, we have some young pieces as well, Diamond Miller, Lissa Peely. But how does that feel to know that, like, this legacy legacy of Lynx basketball. The fans are still very passionate at Target Center. They're still showing out. They always talk about you, Maya, Lindsay, everyone. I mean, just how does that feel to know that you were part of history like that?
I know, to be a part of history. Sometimes you feel old.
I know it can make you feel a little old. Yeah.
Sometimes you feel old when they're like, you're part of history.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God,
man.
put me in the museum.
Yeah.
But it feels good. You know, as I'm walking around, I'm seeing some of the things that we still do. Like you go in the training room, we used to have this skeleton that we would dress up.
Yeah.
They still got that going on, different hand claps and stuff like that. And you're just like, man, you know, you never thought when we were doing it, it just kind of happened organically, but then it became a thing. And to see, you know, Nafisa and the rest of the young ladies just kind of carry on that tradition, but also create their own, you know, version of it is going to be amazing. You know, I can't wait to see them bring home a championship. I know they won the Commissioner's Cup, and that's good. That's kind of like the little teaser.
Yeah, exactly,
you know what I mean?
right?
It's the appetizer.
Yeah.
But the entree and obviously the dessert is getting that championship. That's a totally different feeling, and I feel like they're working and they deserve it.
Well, how do you think they can get that done, Seimone? I mean, obviously, you're able to be around basketball a lot now, being in coaching. For your perspective, I mean, what do you think are going to be the keys for the Lynx to be able to get a championship this year?
Look, now you put me on the spot. I'm in the infancy stages of my coaching. I'm learning how to teach and deliver information. You know, but you know, we've always kind of set ourselves up with defense. Even though we had great offensive players, we always prided ourselves on defense. Defense wins championships, and being able to stop some of the best players in this league, or at least slow them down, you know, as much as you can, really give you a chance. Offensively, they've always had Cheryl has an amazing system. It's very structured. You mess up and we will burn you for not being disciplined on defense. So it's really just the camaraderie and the cohesiveness that they need to continue to have as the season goes on, especially into the playoffs. You know, these environments, the intensity of the game, refereeing, everything just changes. And so you have to be able to weather the storm and be able to just kind of push through together as opposed to individually. And I think they will.
And I know, obviously, you are getting ready to begin your tenure over with LSU as an assistant coach there. Walk me through how excited you are for that. I mean, to be able to join college women's basketball at a very exciting time where it's at its highest peak.
I know. I'm super excited to be back at home. You know, I have to tell my parents, like, I have a job now. They just, like, call all day. But excited about the possibility. You know, for the longest, I was on this level. And so now I'm, like, collegiately, you get a chance to groom the next player, the next generation of WNBA players if you do it right. And so they've been very receptive. They've listened. No matter how hard or soft I spoke, you know, I'm finding my voice as a coach and obviously finding my identity as I move forward.
What do you feel like is the biggest difference between college women's basketball players and professional women's basketball players as far as it goes just giving messages to them and advice?
It's the delivery of it, you know, making sure you're not giving them too much. You know, it's baby stepping them into different processes, especially if just say we're breaking on an offense, you know, what they need to look for, what progressions, things like that. Defensively, same. But I think the motivational part, you know, how hard do you push them? What all do you say to just kind of trigger them to get the best out of them? The motivational side is going to be key.
Yeah, because a lot of them obviously have dreams and aspirations of playing professionally, and they're coming from an area like high school or the AU circuit where, you know, they're finally finding their identity as a player, and obviously college now the pivotal point. But you get them for an extended period of time, you know, before they enter the draft, so that's always really good. I want to get your thoughts, Seimone, on just the future of the WNBA. Obviously this year, the league being at its highest peak, we know, yes, the rookie class, but also just the prime players, the superstars we have, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, Asia Wilson. These players are incredible. The women's basketball team winning another gold medal for Team USA at the Olympics. Where do you see the W going within the next, even 3 to 5 years, right? I feel like it's going to continue to grow more and more.
It's so crazy because it just kind of exploded, in which we knew it would at some point. Like, we saw it during our time. Like, at some point, it's going to take off. Like, we've been, you know, yipping, yapping, but people aren't watching. They're kind of listening. Now, all eyes are on these young ladies at the right time. Like you said, Fee is in her prime.
Yeah.
She's just starting to play her best basketball, as well as Brianna Stewart, you know, Caitlin Clark, Rakia Jackson, Cameron. You think about Paige Beskers will be here in a year. Juju Watt. It's so much exciting basketball that's just waiting to be played. Brands, people just wanting to be a part of this league. And I'm like, finally, my knees didn't go to waste.
Exactly. Yeah.
My knees didn't go to waste. People actually seeing what we've been telling them, like women's basketball is amazing. It's basically the foundation. Like you get to teach young kids by watching what we do because we have to be so fundamental. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like this, I mean, I know a lot of new eyeballs on the W, but those fans would know if they go back to the archives and the highlights, like 4 championships for the Lynx from 2011, 2017. There was a dynasty in the W at one point.
I know. We ran this place for about 8 years.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't know nothing about that. It's kind of like this generation, they kind of know, and then the comments.
Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, we respect the OGs, like, without a doubt. But, we got to tell them about this run that we had and the significance of what that meant for this future generation.
Yeah, no doubt, Seimone. It's exciting to see where the W is going to go in the coming years, and obviously the impact you had was fantastic. So I'm so glad that legacy is carrying on. I want to end this podcast, Seimone, with some rapid fire questions. We want to get to know you a little bit off the court. You up for it?
I got it.
All right, let's do it. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, you just mind reading.
What's one food you can't live without?
Pasta.
What's your favorite sports movie of all time?
Cornbread Earl and Me.
If you could describe the Lynx fan base using just one word, what word would it be?
Tenacious.
Oh, tenacious. I like that. There we go. You went deep in the vocabulary with that. Okay, I like it. If you had to compete in a talent show, you had to get up on stage, you had to do a talent in front of a crowd, what talent are you doing? You're trying to visualize yourself doing that.
And look, I tried a talent show before.
Yeah.
I tried to dance. It didn't work out. I forgot all the movements. I don't know. Maybe poetry.
Okay. If you weren't in basketball, what would you be doing?
I'm a hands-on person, so some type of gardening.
Okay.
I don't know what career path.
Yeah.
Somewhere outside.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Growing something.
Yeah, I like it. I want to go back to childhood. What was your favorite subject in school growing up?
Math.
Math, really?
Yeah, I'm a math person.
Math person. Okay, I like it. Yeah, putting up numbers on and off the court, right?
Of
Course. Exactly.
Like to figure it out.
Yeah, awesome. And last thing for you, Seimone, what's one fun fact a lot of people don't know about you?
Oh my goodness, you put me on.
I gotta put you on the spot here.
I don't know. One fun fact. I feel like everything's out there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got a hidden talent, you got something that you always wanted to try and have never done. Maybe, or what's like a city or a country you want to go to at some point?
Japan.
Yeah, Japan. All right, there we go. Seimone Augustus wants to go to Japan. No one knew that, right? Yeah. All right, Seimone. Well, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast with us. We really appreciate it, and I'm so happy to hear. I mean, the players love you, the organization loves you, the fans still love you. So just congratulations on all the success you had, and best of luck this season at LSU.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it, folks. That was today's episode of Lynx Unleashed with Seimone Augustus.